While my brothers and I were born in the Netherlands, you could say our story was truly born in Canada. This is a country close to our heart where 80 years ago, Canada opened its doors to our royal family. Princess Juliana, future Queen Beatrix, and later Princess Margriet, born on Canadian soil but Dutch by proclamation, all found safety in Canada. In Stratford, Ontario, where I live with my wife and 4 beautiful children, we're converting a former furniture factory into a residential project that once served as the Princess Juliana Kazerne, a Dutch training camp where young Dutch nationals from across North America and the Caribbean were recruited to bolster the Royal Netherlands Brigade, Princess Irene, a brigade that fought alongside Canadian forces that led to the liberation of the Netherlands. Post-war, thousands of Dutch citizens immigrated to Canada in search of land, opportunity, and peace. Today, more than 1 million Canadians have Dutch ancestry. Their influence can be seen in farming communities, trade, and even town names across Canada. The tulips that bloom each spring in Ottawa tell a story of gratitude that spans generations. From Princess Juliana's first gift of 100,000 bulbs in 1945 to today's annual shipment, these flowers symbolize something deeper, a relationship rooted in trust, mutual respect, and shared prosperity. Today, Business EQ and BMI continue this tradition of Dutch-Canadian partnership, but instead of tulips, we're cultivating shared opportunities. Growing up in this environment, we literally cultivated our first opportunity in Canada as teens with a landscape company that we started with 3 wheelbarrows, a truck, and sold potted plants at a local farmer's market. In our 20s, we secured a landscaping contract with Toyota for their new plant in Woodstock, Ontario that grew to handle their final factory clean before the plant opened. Managing both successfully, Toyota asked us if we would be interested in handling their metals recovery and recycling program. Being the young entrepreneurial types that we were, of course, we said yes. Metals recycling led us to the world of resource recovery, structural demolition, and our first pivot from recovery to property revitalization. From 3 wheelbarrows to Toyota's trust, we learned that success comes from seeing potential where others see problems. Whether that's repurposing of industrial assets or revitalizing abandoned properties. The integration of resource recovery with revitalization wasn't just a business move, it was a vision for large-scale renewal. Across Canada, legacy paper mills with multi-million-dollar infrastructure investments are lying dormant. Executives facing declining print markets needed strategic partners for controlled asset transfer. These complex sites require environmental remediation, stakeholder engagement, and phased financial implementation. What makes these opportunities extraordinary is that they're located in mineral and wood-rich areas with existing industrial power and multimodal infrastructure, precisely when the world is renegotiating resource corridors. From Ontario's north to Niagara's south, each project taught us how to transform legacy assets into economic hubs, establishing BMI's reputation for successfully managing complex industrial transitions. Today, BMI commands a very unique portfolio of directly owned sites positioned for sustainable logistics, energy transition infrastructure, and resource processing. Our strength lies in deep local roots, strong relationships with government, Indigenous communities, and private partners through ESG-aligned community-based development. What sets us apart is execution power and speed. We control the full development chain from acquisition to long-term management, enabling faster, more agile project delivery. As Business EQ's exclusive Canadian development partner, BMI provides European investors access to high-impact, locally managed opportunities. Together, we're not just developing sites, we're building a platform for a sustainable resource future. With Business EQ as our investment partner, we applied our proven ready stating and refuturing model to our largest project, Bioveld Niagara, 600 acres in the Golden Horseshoe, Canada's economic powerhouse. Today we can show you what we've built. We've built that together. Since 2022, Bioveld Niagara has developed into a living innovation hub at a scale we could not have predicted when we first acquired the building. 29 companies who have invested over $2 billion now operate on the site. They span sectors that reflect Canada's industrial future. Clean tech innovators, processing wood waste into renewable energy and biocarbon, steelmakers fabricating heavy-duty components, companies recycling critical metals from mining wastewater, digital infrastructure players, logistics operators moving goods by road, rail, and now water. Recent dock upgrades from the St. Lawrence Seaway have made Bioveld Niagara accessible to sea-going shipping vessels along Canada's busiest seaway route for commercial shipping. For our tenants, Bioveld Niagara is a multimodal gateway to 130 million consumers across 2 provinces and 9 U.S. states. The mayor of Dool, Terry Ugolini, recently said, "There are now more people working on this site than there were on the day the paper mill closed." 300 kilometers away in Espanola, Bioveld North is extending the Bioveld story. Once a cornerstone of Northern Ontario's forestry economy, where generations of workers enjoyed stable employment before the mill's closure in 2023, BMI and Business EQ are putting Bioveld North back to work as a full-fiber bioproducts and clean energy hub. On site, a 16-megawatt hydro power plant is already generating and selling electricity, producing income for the property from day one. Our next step will be to evaluate a $400 million public-private investment to restart pulp operations and build the next generation of pulp and paper, a platform we've named Pulp Plus. The facility would act as a new model for how wood can be used, reused, and reimagined in a circular, low-carbon economy. At its core, the vision is simple: put wood back to work. Nordera in Bécamo, Quebec, was introduced last year as a strategic acquisition. In 2026, it became operational. The site is configured as a hub for high-energy industries, including metallurgy, critical minerals, renewable energy, defense, and logistics. Alcoa, a manufacturer of aluminum, has signed a storage agreement with Nordera. And Northern Graphite, North America's only active natural flake graphite producer, has expressed their intent to build a battery anode material facility, a project that has received a letter of support from the Port of Rotterdam. Nordera is located next to the Port of Bécamo, who has a formal agreement with the Port of Rotterdam to develop transatlantic supply chain capacity and bilateral trade infrastructure. This is our Atlantic gateway. From this port on, the St. Lawrence Seaway, Canadian graphite, and other critical minerals can reach European markets directly. With our newest acquisitions in BC and Saskatchewan, this is the IPC portfolio today. 6 sites, 4 provinces, 1 corridor connecting Canada's resource north to its industrial south, and from there to the world. Canada is positioned to be a major player in the new energy economy, but resources are only valuable if you can move them to market efficiently. We are building the Canadian Critical Mineral Corridor as a platform connecting the mining, refining, and manufacturing of Canada's mineral wealth with global demand. Our strategy has been mirrored in the Canadian government. Conversation about critical minerals supply chains has moved from boardrooms to cabinet meetings to infrastructure budgets.
We're not experiencing a gradual transition, but a fundamental rupture. This rupture has exposed vulnerability in supply chains and market integration. Canada is exceptionally well positioned to be a global leader in the responsible, inclusive, and sustainable production of critical minerals.
Canada's federal government has designated the Ring of Fire, the region immediately north of our Red Rock site, as one of 10 national priority projects. The access road has broken ground and is backed by $120 million in governmental support. The EU-Canada Strategic Raw Materials Partnership continues to deepen. And next door to our Bioveld Niagara footprint in Port Colborne, Asahi Kasei of Japan is committing $1.8 billion to build a lithium-ion battery separator factory, a project we helped facilitate through a multi-sector task force and through the sale of our Port Colborne property. We did not react to these trends, we preceded them. This is the foundation on which IPC is built.
Als Business EQ hebben we dit uitdagende speelveld gestructureerd voor beleggers die aangesproken worden door stabiele business op het gebied van industrieel vastgoed en infrastructuur. Niet iedereen kan beleggen met een lange termijn scope, terwijl onze projecten dat wel vragen. Ons IPC-netwerk biedt daarom zowel flexibiliteit aan de Nederlandse als zekerheid aan de Canadese kant. Als investeerder neem je deel in goed voorbereide, strategisch gelegen projecten, ondersteund door een team dat de Canadese markt door en door kent.
As we think about IPC and we think about the future, we're incredibly grateful to BQ and its investment partners in allowing us to do what we can do. We're at the front lines of this activity here in Canada. Namens Broers willen wij u hartelijk danken voor uw participatie en zien uit naar een voorspoedig 2026 and beyond. Thank you.